Okay, so here's a couple things for context. It's mid-November, I just woke up, and I'm currently staving off the pain that the Smash Ultimate waiting game has been inflicting on me for the past 2 weeks or so. That was the initial time and state I was in when I wrote this script. Yeah, it's not far back in the past we at right now. How you doing, future people? Regardless, I wrote it then because I felt like my head was finally in a space where I could calmly ramble about this topic. And that topic is Kingdom Hearts 3. Yep, it's finally time to talk about this enigma, dude. This giant checkerboard patterned anime elephant in the room. The game just went gold as I'm writing this, and I'm probably playing for it right now with all of you as the video goes live. Just thinking that is crazy, because if you've been in it for the long run like I have, you know that you've been waiting for this thing for about 10 frickin' years, and now it's about to be in the palm of our hands. It's almost like a dream, really. And real quick, before anybody comes out here and says shit like, excuse me, Dio, but the game's only been in development for like 5 years, so you haven't really been waiting that long. I mean, come on now. Shut up! I know the game's only been in development for like 5. That's not what I'm talking about, and you know it. I'm talking about the way that started after we beat KH3 and saw the after credits scene and realized, oh man, Sora's got another adventure to go on and it's gonna be sick. And then we saw the after credits scene and was like, oh, what is this? This is gonna be a video game? Where is this? What is this? Is this armor? Who is this old guy? Why are there keyblades in the ground? Is that Riku? What are you doing, Riku? Dude, we got capes? We got capes now? That's the way that I'm talking about. That was the point in time where the seed of Kingdom Hearts 3 was planted into our minds as the thing that we were supposed to look forward to. That was the moment where we were like, alright, Square, you have me. What's next, huh? What's this bullcrap? Who's this guy? What kind of struggle does my boy have to go through now? And of course, we got answers to some of those questions with Birth by Sleep, even though that game went in a completely different direction than most of us were thinking. And then we had more content to tide us over, like Days and Recoded, and eventually the entire series just became more ridiculous as the years went by, but we never got a clue to the important question of what the heck's happening to Sora, Riku, and the others. In fact, we didn't even really get close to figuring out what even is Kingdom Hearts 3, until about 2012 with Dream Drop Distance, where the game told us, hey, everything you knew was a lie, and everyone's gonna have to do some bull. All of that on top of the wait that began when we first got the confirmation that yes, KH3 exists, it is in development, collectively took about a decade, and you cannot water that down. Because even though this turned out to not be KH3, KH3 was still promised, right here, so we waited. But now, the wait's almost over, and I think that's kind of surreal to think. Or I guess in retrospect, I guess it's already over, right? But, you know, it's just semantics. Now, I know a lot of people have been freaking out about this thing, you know, looking at the big 29 circled on the first page of their 2019 calendars, waiting with bated breath like it's gonna be the second coming or something. Some of y'all talking like, oh man, I can get this game and then finally die peacefully. And I'm like, alright, Chief, I don't know about that one. But I'm not gonna lie, when I actually start staring at that title screen, I'm gonna be feeling a certain type of way. There's been a lot of build up to this moment. It's just something that we've all really wanted to play. And now when we finally get to play it, it's just like, yes, dude! It's been a wild ride. Especially recently, because Nomura went ham in 2018. There was a point around 4 years ago or something where we literally were starving for any information on this game whatsoever. And then 2018 came along, and we were freaking full. We were beyond full. We were obese. I don't even know why he felt like he had to do that. I mean, he already had us. The hype was real. We bought each game in the series probably 4 times already. We were prepared. But regardless of all of that, I guess it's just nice to reflect on this stupid wild goose chase turned roller coaster ride we've been on. And that's what this video is about, really. Just a reflection. I want to look back at why we've been so invested into this game's existence. Why was it such a big deal in comparison to any other hype game we've been waiting for? And then most importantly, what were our expectations? Well, at least, what were my expectations, because I can't read your minds. I guess the answer as to why I've been strung along the more stupid web of reconnection for so long is because of how much I appreciate the series itself. I was brought into the gaming world with Crash Bandicoot, but it was only when I got my hands on KH where my love for gaming was truly cemented. I remember sitting in the living room watching my cousin play KH2 whenever he'd visit and thinking all of this was just so freaking cool. Just this stupid boy with a giant key hanging out with people like Donald Duck, Goofy, and Jack Sparrow, among many other weird things. Like, I wanted it. I wanted it bad. It was really cool, dude. My cousin made a deal with me and told me that he'd give me his copy of the game if I got and beat the first one. And you better believe I started getting ready to do just that. The next time I went to the States, it was the first game I bought, and I played the crap out of it. I played by myself, I played with my other cousin, I beat it again. I asked my first cousin like 70 times how to beat the super bosses because I was bad, until I'm sure he got fed up with all the questions and told me to get good. It was a fun time. KH1 immediately became one of my favorite games ever, and then my cousin held up his end of the bargain. And I got the second game, and then that game just became my favorite one of all time. I was sold on this stupid glorified fan fiction so freaking fast you have no clue, and these games and the characters in them, they've taught me lots of things. I appreciate my friends more because of these games, as cheesy as that may sound. Sora's optimism and willingness to help people and protect his friends is something I honestly admire and want to achieve. I've met so many friends through Kingdom Hearts and strengthened bonds with some that I already had through Kingdom Hearts. The power of shared interest is rather underestimated in that respect. Now that KH3, something that I've been passively, and sometimes very actively, looking forward to, is getting so close, it kind of feels like the end of an arc in terms of my hobby. Well, just like how KH3 is supposed to be the end of the Xehanort art or whatever, and we're finally gonna get some closure to this crazy story Nomura's been writing, it also feels like the end of an arc for gaming itself. Maybe that's overdoing it, I don't know, but that's just how I see it. No, I'm definitely overdoing it. Like, you know how everyone felt when the word got out that Naruto just kinda ended after literally forever, and we finally get to see this stupid Naruto versus Sasuke fight the anime and manga have been foreshadowing for multiple years? It's exactly like that. I remember the first time we got confirmation on KH3 even being a thing. What a magical day that was. I was still in high school back then. I was chilling in a Facebook group with my friends, all of us watching E3. I remember my best friend was freaking out over Square's other mythical creature of a game confirmed in the form of Final Fantasy 15. I tabbed out of the Twitch stream to message him about it, and then all of a sudden, I hear that familiar tune. My eyes went frickin' wide. I couldn't believe my ears. I had pretty much already given up hope that we were gonna get any info at all about Kingdom Hearts that year, and just hearing those notes blew my frickin' low expectations out of the water. I never tabbed back into anything so fast in my life, just freaking seeing Sora in Super HD there, holding that Keyblade, and then switching over to him in Twilight Town, surfing on a tube of shadows. I was genuinely screaming, I could do nothing else. I got up from my freaking desk, just took a walk around my house. People probably thought I was stupid. KH3 was confirmed, dude. I wasn't ready for that, it was sick, and since then, I've always just enjoyed waiting for trailers on information on the game with my friends, both the ones I've known since forever and the ones I've met in the KH community since then. Some of the people I've met there have become good friends of mine, and I appreciate all of them. After that point though, the wait became more grueling. It came to a point where I had to re-lower my expectations below the ground. We can't expect release dates. Don't assume trailers are coming out. We'll get the game when we get it, and life's just gonna move on after that. I've been doing that shtick for so long that honestly I'm just completely chill when it comes to talking about KH3. The anticipation has kind of died out. It's been sealed away. I think the most hyped KH3 announcement for me since the initial confirmation was probably the Pirates of the Caribbean trailer. I nearly lost my frickin' voice on that one. And then there was Smash literally the morning afterwards. Man, that was a good E3. But yeah, it's been a lot of good moments with everyone, and honestly, I feel like I loved sharing the experience with everyone more than getting the info itself. But of course, KH3 is a video game, and I've just been gushing for who knows how long about the mere concept of the product rather than the product itself. Like, this game could come out and flop. That would suck. I mean, I don't think it's going to, because honestly it looks sick, but there have definitely been some concerns about the gameplay echoing about, and I think that's something I can empathize with. iffy things like the lack of iframes during flashy moves and summons where you can't really do anything to defend yourself, the vague explanation of how the ability system works, the question of whether or not we'll have combo modifiers back, the question of whether or not the revenge value system is back, and that dang trigger word floaty. All of those things have cropped up and made some of the KH veterans slightly skeptical, with good reason. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the way they took the series in terms of gameplay with Bird by Sleep and Change Up Distance. I'd be very disappointed if a lot of the problems that plagued those games showed up in the arc's finale. And in the beginning, it definitely seemed that some of that stuff might have shown up, and I was a bit worried. However, as time went on and more footage came out, the game seems to be just looking clean, and you know what, that's good. Everyone wants the game to be as good as possible, but truth be told, I think some of y'all have some unreasonable standards. Some people are just straight up nitpicking and worried about everything, and that ain't no way to live. Sure, there are some things to be concerned about, but sometimes it feels like people just want the game to be Kingdom Hearts 2, which, no. I understand why you would want that. I mean, KH2 Final Mix is my favorite game literally ever, but we already have Kingdom Hearts 2. You can play it on like 3 different things, it's there. You can let some things be different, can't you? I definitely want KH3 to be more similar to 2 than the others, but we can go beyond that game, you know? It's not like that game doesn't have flaws. It's not like making a game with unique and fun mechanics not found in KH2FM is a pipe dream. The fall speed of a character while they perform aerial combos is not the only determining factor of whether or not the game is good. I'm not asking for perfection or even a game to surpass KH2FM, because personally, even though I'd be really happy to have that, I love 2FM so much that I'm not even sure that's a thing that's going to be possible for me. All I want from KH3 is a really good, clean game that will give me hours and hours of enjoyment. I want there to be depth to it. I want it to be challenging and engaging and full of replay value. I want KH3 to be fun because that's what KH1 and 2 were to me, and I love those games to bits. But what do you guys want? How have you guys been enjoying the wait for this game? What would be your favorite memories? Tell me in the comments, I'd love to read them. Anyway, I rambled on enough. I guess all there is to do now is just sit back and chill and live life. I also want to take this time to announce that if anyone out there watching this has actually watched my previous YouTube videos, given you still exist, I went through a lot of bull last year and prior, John went through a lot of bull last year and prior, and just a lot of things happened, which is why this channel died for like ever. Not like it had much of a life anyway, but you know. But everything calmed down and I recently decided, you know what, I need to do things again. So I bought the newest Vegas Pro, and I bought Affinity, and gosh darn it, I'm gonna make content at least semi-consistently, even if it friggin' has me up at 3 in the morning. Like, it's gonna happen, alright? It's just gonna happen. I have a bunch of ideas I want to get to throughout this year, and I will go and get to them. It's gonna be a fresh start for the channel, so look forward to it. And given the state of affairs in the gaming world right now, I feel like I know the perfect way to start it all off. See you guys in March.